What's up, Kyle Russ here, back with Hydro Mind. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about surfing and parenting. Two things that are so closely tied together because when you combine them, they make each other better. Surfing makes having kids more fun, and then having kids surfing makes surfing more fun. It's such a cool thing. A huge mistakes that I see because like myself, like most surfers or parents, you're passionate and you want them to love what you love. It's a very interesting thing. A huge demographic of ours, people that we help are surfing parents. People who've surfed their entire lives, but then as they get older, they get careers and kids, their fitness takes a nosedive, and so does their surfing. So I work with a lot of these people to help you get back in shape. And I hear this all the time. People they have a bunch of kids and they always say, I'm hoping they become surfers. I'm hoping they become surfers. So in this video, I'll explain to you how I'm making sure that my kids become surfers in a passive way. So one thing that I'm grateful for is before I had kids, I heard a lot of stories from people that I knew who had kids who pushed it too hard, too fast. They're very enthusiastic surfers. They wanted to make sure their kids became them as well, and they pushed them too hard. So there's one thing about the ocean, because as a kid, everything's new. You don't know what it's like to be held underwater, to be dragged out by the ocean, to be cold, and be out of control, completely out of control. And so I know a lot of parents who push their kids too fast, traumatized them at a very young age, and then it ruined them forever. They never were able to become surfers because they hated the ocean. They were afraid of it. And that's a mistake that happens a lot. And it's easy to do when you're enthusiastic and super passionate about surfing. You just want your kids to love what you love. So knowing that going into it, before I had kids, I wanted to make sure I didn't do that. I was very excited to have my kids surf. When my first son was 3, we had him at the beach on a giant longboard in white water like this, letting him, trying to get him to ride it on, and he said no, I don't like it. So we took him off and never brought it up again. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait for him to ask for it again. So that's important, not to force it. You gotta let them ask for it. So something really cool happened on this trip. So we're camping up here, waiting for the swell to come in. So when I was a little kid, up here in Canada, it's wetsuit country, but me, my brother, and my cousins, there's like 8 of us, we used to play in the whitewater with no wetsuits because we didn't have them. We didn't even have surfboards until we were like 8. So we would play in the whitewater, get crashed, get thrashed, really learn to feel the power, to respect it, to stay calm being held under, just to feel the ocean on our own terms, like pushing ourselves, not being pushed, because like our parents weren't surfers. So today a really cool thing happened on this trip. My oldest son, Peyton, he was doing it. So we were out here yesterday, he was in his gum boots, and he's getting out past his gum boots, they're getting wet, he takes those off, then all of a sudden his shirt's getting wet and his pants are getting wet, and he's out there, he's getting farther. So I was with him, and so I took off all my clothes, I'm in my shorts, and he's like, farther daddy, and I'm like, I'm just loving it, because he's asking for it, he's doing it, he's pushing his limits, and I'm teaching him how to be safe and all that stuff. So that day I had tons of stuff I had to do, little things I was supposed to, like the stuff I had planned, and I like forget it all. As long as he wants to stay out here and do this, I'm gonna do it too. So for hours, we stayed up here and played in the waves together. I was frozen cold, so was he, but we felt it was exhilarating. And the cool thing, because I was watching him, my son, experience the ocean the exact same way I did as a kid, on his own terms, getting crashed out there with no wetsuit. So it was super fun. So I'm super excited for that. The second piece is the actual surfing. So one thing I did as the kids were getting older, or the whole lives, I'd put on surf videos and explain things that happened. They weren't that interested, but I would just like make them aware of what it is. And I'd explain things. And now I show them my boards all the time. I get them to help me wax them, set them up, look at them, stand on them. They ask questions and things like that. So I talk about surfing a lot, and I get them to watch me surfing. Never ever since that first time have I asked my son to surf. And finally, now he's asking. So I feel like I did it the right way. I tried to push in the beginning, backed off, and just became the example. Rather than telling him what to do, I lived it myself and let them see. So that's another important part. So the surfing thing, one other thing, I always work out in front of my kids. I had a fancy gym set up out in the garage away from our house. I ended up bringing all that stuff into the living room. So I would intentionally work out in front of my kids so they could see it, see all the equipment. I got them their own little weights. They start copying me, and then they start doing it without me asking them to. Same with surfing now too. I just let them watch me do it. Now they're psyched. So the 5-year-old's ready to go, and the 2-year-old, his older brother's gonna be doing it, he's gonna be ready to go. So that's what I wanna impress upon you. I know you surf parents are super excited, super enthusiastic, wanna get your kids in the water as soon as possible. The best way to do it is to let them make the decision themselves. And the ultimate way to do that, like I said, so kids don't do what you say, they do what you do. So just be the example, that's it. Fitness matters too. Because like I said, I work with a lot of surf parents. So if you are out of shape and you want to get your kids surfing and you're out there trying to catch your breath the whole time, just getting beat up, that's not the example you want to set. Because you got to teach your kids to respect the ocean. You got to respect the ocean yourself by respecting yourself. So that's how we help parents the most. Take care of that side of it, the fitness side. Make the fitness things non-issues. So as your kid's getting better, you'll be in the water showing them how to surf, not telling them from the beach. And then should a situation arise where you need to rescue someone, heaven forbid your kid, you gotta be able to do that. So that's the ultimate lesson you can pass on to your children, is to respect the ocean, because a lot of things out there you don't control. So you gotta control the things that you have, your body, your mind, your breath. So, like I said, parenting and surfing go hand in hand. So if you do it correctly, man, surfing becomes better because you're together, you're at the beach with your kids, you're having fun, you're teaching them all the life skills. And that's another thing about surfing and parenting. So as parents, we want to pass on the success habits, the things that can make them have a better life than we had, right? And then we want to give them the things that made us successful, that have worked for us, right? But a lot of time as parents, it's hard to find the time or even the words to express these things, because kids don't work good with sit-down lessons, right? Like, this is how you be successful, but it's all built into surfing. Teach them fitness, to respect their body, respect the natural world, so things they don't control, to let them go, to respect other people, patience, waiting for the waves to come, persistence, and focusing on a goal that has no finish line. So a lifelong pursuit that you can never perfect, that can always be improved. Learning to do that's passion, it's love, it's heart, it's persistence, it's everything built into it. If your kids don't want to sit down and listen to you teach them lessons, you can teach them all that stuff out in the ocean, provided you're living by the laws as well. So that's what I want to impress upon you. Take it slow and be the example. That is the most reliable way to get your kids interested in surfing. I'm thankful for the people that came before me that gave me these lessons, that made the mistakes so that I don't have to. So that's why I'm making this video. So if you have kids, be the example, and you will definitely, almost definitely, have a squad full of little surfers just like you dreamed about. So if you're interested in this kind of training, in this kind of lifestyle, it's all that we do. We've got a group full of surf parents, just like me, just like you, other guys and girls from around the world, all working together to a common goal. So the community aspect helps a ton, but having that template done for you, training systems, is valuable too, because you can just get started. Because if you're busy with kids and career, inventing your own workout system is a massive investment in time. It took me almost 10 years to perfect it. So we can give you that, the first best system on the very first day. One thing we like to do too, when people have kids, we'll send them an extra set of the power bands so they can work out together, which we love to see. So if you're a surf parent and you want to make sure you're being that living example so you can have a squad of surfers, click that link in the description below. I made a video for you. It explains our process, our step-by-step, how we do the training. At the end of the video, it explains to you how you can get involved if you choose to do so. I hope to see you on the inside. Kyle Russ with Hydro Mind. Thanks a lot for watching.